thought-provoking ignorance, the best blend of hip-hop and R&B with special guests and Cave Crush interviews. Inside the Cave is now on Indie Central Radio. Inside the Cave.
Inside the Cave podcast. Outside Johnny, word up B.
Hey, Charlamagne the God here, and I'm going inside the cave, right? Right.
Yo, this is Deion Cole. I'm going inside the cave. Peace.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your favorite Twin Cousins Junior, man, and I'm going inside the cave. I'm going to be in there. Just tune in. I'm in here.
Bad. This just Niche. I'm going inside the cave. Where the fuck is the cave? But we in that bitch all day, every day. Check out the podcast. They doing big things. We out.
Hey, this is War Riding Period. I'm going inside the cave. And I hope I come out.
Thought-provoking ignorance since 2015.
You did say you wanted to be in, right? All right, here we go. Welcome back to Inside the Cave podcast, live every single week on Indie Central Radio, the Indie Central Radio app. Shout out to Mike Jones and Indie Central now on Roku. You can watch Indie Central on Roku. Check them out. Tell them Inside the Cave sent you. I am CB at I'm the Real CB, and Seasonal said in the building.
Yo, what up? Just the season.
The Cleves report room.
What up, fool?
Cleves. What's good, people? 2 weeks in a row. I'm on a roll.
Sly. Tell the truth.
What up? This week is Marathoner Sly. Marathon. Full-time Marathoner Sly. Chicago Marathoner Sly. This weekend, it is on 26.2 miles from me. That's my truth.
And a Southern baby, Alabama's own Big Dog.
What's up with it, man?
Hey, we got a big show today. Later on in the show, everybody listen to Indie Central. We have an interview coming on later on the show with Greg and Natalie from Good Cop, Bad Cop. It's an app. Ro is going to take care of that interview. We'll call it a Cleves Report interview. Ro, tell everybody about guests we got calling in.
Two phenomenal people, brother and sister, worked on this app, man, trying to get back to the community. Just keep in mind, it's a free app. It's trying to bridge the gap between police and the community. You don't want to miss it.
Dope. Yeah, everybody listen to Indie Central. That'll be in the second hour, right after the old school mix, which is Nas this week. People like that Snoop mix, so check out this week's old school mix with Nas, and then also later on we got the country rap tune as well. All right, everybody listen to Indie Central. Check out this. We'll be back with True, False, or And.
Your favorite podcast is now syndicated on Indie Central Radio. Listen to Inside the Cave weekly on Indie Central Radio. Download the Indie Central Radio app now.
All right, here we go. My bad on the email, man. Shit, being off work is just more work than being at work. I've been running all fucking day.
Hey, real quick for CB. Hey, Ro, I got a message for you.
For me?
For me, yeah. From one of the listeners. Her name is Donna. She don't.
Because we ain't got no feedback. We ain't getting no feedback this week, and we got like
She says, "I am so happy that Ro." Cleves Report is back on the show.
Oh, that's what's up.
I miss my Ro.
That's what's up. Thank you, baby. Thank you. I'm back.
I said, what the hell you telling me for? Email that nigga.
Damn.
Email him.
Feels good to be missed, though. Real talk. Feels good to be missed.
Now, Sly, is this person on any type of medication or drugs?
Unless she's a very good baker. She can cook. So she might be baking some shit in them treats she be making.
Them brownies, huh?
Like she using something else besides yeast, goddamn it.
Yeah, but she is a two-time half marathoner. She tackled the Atlanta hills and mountains or whatever they got in Atlanta, 13 miles. and she did phenomenal, man. She did an awesome job. She's wonderful, man. But she definitely missed her role.
Hey, Sly, did you happen to get a haircut when you was in Atlanta?
I did not. I was supposed to. I did not.
Okay, good. All right.
Your membership will be under review right now.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. I'm like, what? That should be one of the segments. Like, name some of the Atlanta barbershops.
All right, here we go. This is this week's True, False, or And. I got a question for y'all. If he puts more than 3 ingredients in his ramen noodles, he's a felon. True, false, or And?
And he could be a college student on a week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and. I'm going and.
On a cheap tuition.
Right.
Cheap scholarship.
Yeah, if this nigga eating ramen noodles, you need to, the least thing you should be worried about is if he a felon.
All right, here we go. You can't be a prayer warrior and a side chick at the same time. True, false, or And?
You can't be a what?
A prayer warrior.
Yes, you can. That's your fault.
And a side chick?
Yes, I can. Yo, the pastor side chick be sitting behind the first lady of the church.
Wait a minute. Are you asking, are they doing it, or are you saying
I said you can't.
Be?
That's what it says. You can't.
Well, I'll put you this way. It's getting done. Should you be doing it? No.
Yeah, but it's getting done.
It's getting done. And they got no problems.
I say they fake praying. That's what you call it.
Well, you know that.
New pussy ain't gonna make you forget about the one who you truly love. True, false, or And?
What the fuck is you getting at?
New pussy. What? Say the last part.
New pussy ain't gonna make you forget about the one you truly love. True, false, or And?
Nah, it ain't gonna make you forget about the one you.
Yeah, I gotta call true on that one.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Females want all 6 guys they're dealing with to be faithful. True, false, or And?
Damn.
True.
True?
Yeah, I'm gonna call true on that.
And they just don't want to find out nothing.
Same thing.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, true.
All right, last one. If her goddamn, if her name starts with the letters A through Z, she is likely to ruin your life. True, false, or And?
Which one of y'all dating a woman that name start with a number? Hashtag bad bitch. Hashtag hot girl summer.
This nigga on one right away. He went on one right out the gate.
Damn.
I got a hashtag bitch.
Oh man. All right. That's this week's True, False, and everybody listen to Indie Central. Will be back with no feedback because nobody sent none in except for what Bro got. What Sly got. I ain't got no feedback for last week's show. So maybe it wasn't that good. All right.
It must have not been.
Maybe because you came back, bro.
Wasn't that your first show back?
Maybe because
the show was a little skinny.
Yeah, maybe they on strike too, goddamn.
Yeah, maybe they on strike, like you said, dog. That's later on in the show. I got more feedback for my second week. Oh, what's this? This is our fourth week on strike. All right, hey, I got a question of the day for everybody listening. Now
What cat it?
I don't know. It's a spoiler alert for everybody who, if you haven't watched Power, sorry for you, but this is a spoiler alert, so you might want to turn away for the next 10 minutes or so.
Let me turn away because I ain't watched it yet.
I got a question of the day. So on this last episode, we saw Tyreek is out of control, and the father goes. Yeah, the father wants a different life for his son, not the same life as he had. Whereas the mother is looking at her son as like, well, this is who he is. So instead of running from it, she's gonna help him be the best version of himself. And that's a dope boy. The mother going to help her son be the best, a better version than his dad, be better than Ghost. So my question is, if your child is out of control, and because like I'm on record, I want a different life for my kids. The last result for them is to work where I work at. I want them to do better. If worse come to worse, they work where I work at, but I want better. But if you don't see your kids going in the right direction, is it your job as a parent to help them be who they naturally are? Or are you supposed to improve their situation or try to make them a better version, even if it doesn't come to them naturally? Y'all understand the question?
Yeah, I
think it's a terrible question.
But before we even get to that, I think I'm on record saying that I never liked Tasha's character.
And while we at it, I never liked her singing neither back in the day.
Well, the guy who runs,
because you know what? Throughout the whole, ever since this damn show been on, her only goal is to stay in the dope game at all costs.
Right.
So I blame her for everything. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, no, it ain't because she dark skinned, it's a dog.
Nah, just because she had like she trapped in the game, goddamn it, she don't want to get out.
Oh, okay.
Ghost wanted to get out, so you know what I'm saying. She kind of pushed him away. Then he got with his old high school sweetheart, and everybody got killed. Goddamn it, if she had just got her ass out the dope game, none of this shit would happen. Now she want to push her son out there.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about power, but how you feel about, you know, like if your son or daughter, let's just say your daughter, I ain't gonna say your daughter, but let's just say we have a family member and she's curvaceous and she can dance. She ain't doing shit else with her life. And she decides that, hey, I want to go to that strip club y'all want to go to, that y'all be going to, and I want to start dancing there.
I'll put it like this.
This is one of your loved ones.
Anything that you care about, whether it's a person or an object, you go over and beyond to take care of it at all costs. You don't have to be persuaded. Don't nobody have to tell you, remind you, none of that shit. If you care about it, you want it. If your kid doing something fucked up, you're gonna speak on it until you get to a point where you don't give a shit, and then you don't have nothing else to say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for a parent to, I guess, co-sign their kids making bad decisions, you really failing as a parent.
But there's the flip side is he gonna do it regardless.
Yeah, but that don't mean you gotta help him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that shit on your own.
Right.
And you ain't getting no help from me to do it.
At all.
Right. But see, I'm
with Tony. I just don't even understand. I mean, I understand the question, but I mean, what motherfucker in their right mind gonna help promote some bullshit?
Shit, let me tell you something. I know a lot of.
I said, what person in their right mind?
I know a plenty of cases where cats was out there in the streets, and when parents find out, the first thing they say, well, how much money you got?
Yep. And I know parents that counted the money for the kid, help them count, help them bag and everything.
Motherfucking money make you do something crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's true.
So, like, what is your job as a parent? Because you want to see what your kid is. Like my wife is on record. My child start going the wrong way. I'm shipping his ass to military school or going to the army. But who's to say that's a good idea to send your kids to the military? Well, I don't trust this government. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you really do? You see him going that route and help that situation, or that's why I kind of wish Kat was here. I like to see what she think about that.
Nah, that motherfucker got to go, man. You on some bullshit
your
like
kid
that.
At all costs.
Yep. If he in here slanging dope and some bullshit like that, nah, you got to go. I can't have that in my house.
Yeah,
I don't need no money.
But see, you saying that because you're not living that life. But
I can only answer from my
right. But what? Okay, so let's not even take it to the dope thing. Let's just
look at OCB. You gotta think we from an era where kids with potential, even if it ain't your kid, nigga, you can't be out here in this game.
Right.
You need to be doing something else. If I don't care if it's a ball player or if it's a kid that's real smart. But normally, you see potential in a kid, you want something better for him.
Okay.
And then if you know the struggle that you're dealing with and the dangers and everything else that goes along with it, why the fuck would you co-sign for somebody you care about?
All right, but let's take away from dope. I don't want my kids, and I make pretty good money. I don't want my kids working where I work at.
I'm just using dope game as a reference, but I mean anything.
Okay, but I don't want my kids working where I work at. I pray that they can do better than me. But if I see that this is where they headed, do I keep forcing college, or do I just say, hey man, it's time to go ahead and get your application to be the best, GM guy you can be? You know what I mean? Is that giving up on your kid? Is that giving up on your kid, or is that just?
I think using that as a bad example.
Yeah, I think he is too. I get what you're saying, CB, and I'm in the exact same boat as you with that. But I mean, if your kid ain't, you got to know what you're working with, okay? If you know your kid ain't the type to go to college, you can't force them that. It's a waste of your money and it's a waste of your time. Now, do you want them to necessarily have to work at GM like you? No, just like I don't want my kids to have to work where I'm working. But I also ain't gonna have you out here if I got the means to help you get along in life the best way you can, even if I ain't overly excited about it. And obviously, if it ain't illegal, then yeah, you do what you got to do.
Okay, let's just say stripping. Let's just say you got a kid, a daughter.
Oh man.
You need to be more specific. Now you saying like your kid doing some illegal foul shit, or your kid choosing a profession that's legit that you just may not care about?
All of the above. We all want the best for our kids. We all have a different way.
We're all over the place with this question.
It's not all over the place. Now I'm talking about girls.
You're talking about a legal, legit job.
Stripping is not illegal though.
I'm not saying stripping.
Okay, I am. I'm talking about stripping now. Let's just say.
Now you talking about just specifically stripping, or you talking about in general?
I'm asking specifically. If your daughter said, not your daughter, but say a daughter says she wants to start stripping.
I mean, what man do you know gonna want to see their daughter stripping?
Okay, don't go to the club then.
That's your business. I'm saying no. What the fuck you mean? Don't go to the club.
But see,
I'm clearly saying,
but there's mothers that'll be like, but see, that's what I'm saying.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. You talking to me,
right?
Yeah, but
you talking to a bunch of men. I mean, you got to be more specific in what you're saying, bro.
That's not the same thing.
What you mean?
That you can't judge a man on where he go with what his daughter does. Now, the better question would be if Cardi B is raising a child, that child is 18.
There you go, changing up the goddamn question again, bro.
That is not changing up the question, because y'all just didn't hear the question. Because that's exactly what he had. Tasha and Ghost is in the game. How could Ghost and your poor attempt to explain the show? Yeah, he tried to get out the game, but that's not what actually happened for people who actually watched the show in depth.
And who's poor attempt to try to explain the show?
Ghost is a clown. He was in the game committing
murder.
murder.
How I feel and what I see through my eyes.
Well, in all fairness, dog, you were kind of one-sided. I mean, Tommy has a lot to do with Ghost still being in the game.
It doesn't. The question was. The question was.
Parents, and we talking about husband and wife. Yeah, she conspired behind his back and all that. But I'm saying if you're talking about just them as a couple and their family.
Right.
Ghost to keep him in the game.
Ghost has no moral position to try to want better for his son.
Damn.
He's in the game.
How do you sound, bro?
Because he's in the game. He's in the game.
Bro, you sound about crazy.
You can want all you want for your son, but if your son wants to follow in your footsteps, why wouldn't you show him the best way to do that?
Damn. So you agree with that?
If you in the game, yes. If you in it.
There's a meme that says if you sell dope and your son sells dope, you failed as a father. So you don't agree with that?
No, you how did you fail as a father? He followed what his daddy was. You actually succeeded.
Oh wow, you crazy. Yeah, I'm with Dog now. I'm with Dog.
You know what, Ro? Went off the reservation with this one.
I'm with Dog now.
Children follow the example. So you cannot. So you as a GM worker, or whatever place you work at, you said that if you want better for your kid, that's great. But once your kid comes of age and he's saying, I don't want to go to college, Dad, why would you make him? So if he's saying, I don't want to do what you do, why wouldn't you show him the best way to do it then? Well, this is what I don't agree. I would rather you go to school and be something great, a doctor, and he's saying, I don't want to be that. Then guess what? Then you show, if you in it, if I'm in the dope game, I'm going to show him how to stay the hell out of a jail cell. If that's what I've been doing for the better part of 15 years, like Ghost has been, he's been successfully trying to get out of the game for 3 seasons. He ain't got out yet. Come on, man.
But what if the scenario is something like what was that Original Gangster, and Denzel's character, the T.I. character, was about to be a professional baseball player,
right?
But he wanted to be like his Uncle Frank.
But what I'm saying is you can encourage, but only to a certain extent. Once that ship is sailed, bro, and it's already going downhill, but why not? There's got to be, what I'm saying is there got to be a point of no return. You can't make a grown person do something even if it's your child, you can't make them go away. So if they're hell bent on doing what you are doing, then why not show them the best way to do that? So they can be successful at that.
You're on your own with that shit, bro.
You can pick it. So basically, you're being a hypocrite. So you want to pick and choose.
That's okay. Life is full of hypocrites.
That's true.
Hey, Dog, what's that saying? Do as I say, not
as I say, not as I do.
Right.
And guess what? That works until they're about 9-10 years old. You can whoop their ass all you want, but eventually, weed smokers, they kids smoke weed. Cigarette smokers, they kids smoke cigarettes. How are we gonna just keep denying this change, these generational curses in the community? You eat hog moth, your kids gonna eat hog moth. Come on, man. If you ain't showing them the better way, how they gonna do the better way?
But in Ghost defense, he did show his kid. He didn't show his son the dope game.
He didn't show it to him, but he was doing it. Who you think he learned it from? He
didn't learn it from his dad.
He didn't learn it.
He learned it from everybody that was conspiring behind his back to keep him in the game.
Do you remember?
Do
you remember the PSA?
That show is really a bad example for what you're talking about.
Do you remember? The PSA with the kid, the father who comes into the kid's room and he said, "Whose is this? How did you learn how to do this?" And there's like weed and a crack pipe in there. And
yeah,
all
I
that.
remember. We remember. I remember. Yeah.
And he said, "I learned it from watching you. I learned it from watching you."
Ghost wears a suit every day. He looks like he's going to the office. I don't see if you don't.
And his son seen him doing the most outlandish shit.
No, he didn't.
When?
He did.
His son ain't see him do shit.
He did too.
You say you don't watch the show, bro. 50 Cent. I mean, Kanan somebody told him what your daddy really is. He didn't know. Somebody told him that shit. That's like me telling you.
Why can't we get away from the show and just talk about the example for life?
Because that's what he uses the example. And I'm saying you being a hypocrite.
We stuck on the show a little too much.
Said what you think about what Ro just said, though? He said if you show
I already said that nigga on his own. Hey, man, nobody ain't showing you the game, nigga. Hell no.
So you a stripper and mad because your daughter want to be a stripper. That's how you make your money?
See, that's a question I want to know. Like, I would think that most people strip to get away from.
Most people make hard decisions so their kids don't have to.
And what I'm
saying, there you go, dog.
But if you living that life in front of them, bro,
you sound
how can you
crazy hell
expect
on
them
this
not
here,
to
bro.
be that?
I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I understand what Roland is saying.
I'm not being realistic, man. Y'all denying parenting.
I ain't
That's what y'all doing.
Roland, I'm not. I understand what you're saying. Oh God, on face value, but at the end of the day, you make your own sacrifices, like you said, so your kids don't have to be in a certain position. At least that's the thing.
How many of us got kids over 18?
I do.
And I do.
Okay. And
I've been in this game a little longer than you, Rose.
Forgive me for my wrongs, I have just begun.
So we all three of us got kids over 18, right? Is they all doing what we want them to do?
No. Mine ain't.
Okay, neither is mine. So
Did
we or did we not succeed at parenting if they're not doing what we want them to do?
But that don't necessarily mean that you didn't succeed as a parent.
Okay.
Just because they're not in the profession that you may choose, don't mean that you was a bad parent.
I didn't say you was a bad parent. I said, did you succeed?
That don't mean that you succeeded or not. Just because they don't have, look here, if your kids don't have a certain skill set to get a certain type of profession or whatever, or they don't have the drive or whatever.
And I'm saying if they got the drive.
At a certain point, it's their kid's decision, just like you said. But what the question is, are you going to support your kid doing some bullshit?
But if you doing the bullshit, how can you morally stand on not doing the bullshit?
Again, because he said you might be doing the bullshit because you have no other choice currently, and you've been doing this bullshit so that your kids can have a choice and be in a certain position.
Name me two things that your daddy told you not to do that you went ahead and did anyway. That your daddy was doing.
I can name you 100.
Thank you. So my dad sold and smoked marijuana. When I was younger, I sold and smoked marijuana. Did my dad want that life from me? Absolutely not. Could he control what I did? Absolutely not.
Well, okay. Well, let me
what
just.
you're saying is you would have rather your dad just taught you the game so you can still be out there, right?
No, I do not. Because that's not what I'm saying, because that's not what I wanted to do. That's just something that I did. This is something that like I said, let's use CB and his son. He doesn't want his son to be a factory worker, right? But his son comes of age and he says, you know what? I want to do what my dad did. Like his father before him, or his uncle before him, or whatever family members y'all got running through that plant. So what I'm saying is, you say, no, son, I don't want you to be that. I want you to be greater than that. You're smarter than that, son. He ponders it. He thinks about it. He's like, no, I don't want to go to college. I ain't feeling that. I'm not trying to go $80,000, $90,000 in debt. I'd rather start my career as an 18-year-old young man so I can work my way up to manager or supervisor or whatever the case may be. Why wouldn't you show them the best way to do that?
But that ain't bullshit. Ain't nothing wrong
ain't
with
bullshit,
that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
I'll still be disappointed, though.
But
I mean, don't get me wrong, CB. I don't think
either
either one was one of our kids working in the fucking factory. I mean, and that's for multiple reasons.
Right.
I don't want to work. I don't want to work in a factory.
The wear and tear it puts on your body on top of everything else.
Yeah.
Like, it's shit, like we come on here, we joke around, but real talk, the average motherfucker can't do what we do.
True.
I know motherfuckers couldn't last a week.
The day I seen a motherfucker quit the day, that same day. I was that man. I'll never forget that. Motherfucker walked out. He said, I used to talk a lot of shit about y'all. He said, but this is my last day. I'm going to finish out this day because I'm not no quitter, but I ain't coming back tomorrow.
Exactly.
But now when you get down to talking about the money and the benefits, yeah, it's a decent, honest living, yeah. But of course, you don't want your kids to put their bodies through the type of shit and deal with the bullshit you got to. So we talking about some kind of fucked up profession that's illegal, not just choosing a job that may not pay as good or some shit like that. We talking about your kid being on some straight bullshit and you supporting it.
But it depends on who thinks it's bullshit. Let's just say, for instance, I heard of a mother and daughter. A mother.
Put it like this: so you need to be more specific with your question. So are you saying just so you want to use GM as a fucking example? As a bad profession?
All of them. I mean, because think about it like this. I heard of a mother and daughter. A mother, she was in porn, and then her daughter was gaming porn. And she's a
hold on, let me ask you one question before you finish.
All right.
So you comparing porn to gym?
It's either or. I don't want that for my kid. I want him to be
It's a
better.
different level of. I really don't want you having to do this job, working in a factory, working in the GM. It's another difference between I don't want you to have a gangbang around on you on tape.
Right.
But I still think there's a difference between if you in the game and if you ain't in the game. If I ain't saying it was your past, I'm saying this is your current. And I'm saying, how can you stand on something I want better for you, but you doing it? If you so ashamed of your child doing it, then don't do it.
Who said something about being ashamed? It could be something dangerous, bro. We talking about putting your kid in a fucked up situation. We're not talking about. I think for CB to use GM as an example is kind of fucked up. But I thought that the direction of the question was your kid doing something that was foul, either dangerous or something along that line.
Yeah, that too.
Man, bro, but what I'm saying is that I'm trying not to be the high moral hypocrite. I'm saying that yes, we don't want our children doing dangerous things and we would want the best for them. But if I'm currently in that and I'm somewhat of a master at it, and there's no way
heard
to
you the
change
first
his
fucking time. We
mind.
just don't goddamn agree. Let's play this shit all day. Nigga, we don't agree with that shit.
Man, I think we using very extreme cases and circumstances. Ain't no motherfucking way that you want to be out here showing your son or your daughter the dope game. If you know everything that
It
comes along with
happens every day. That's a lie.
I say you don't want to. I'm saying I'm just going off of me. I'm not saying it don't happen, bro. You get too excited. I'm not saying it don't happen. I'm saying that ain't what I want. I don't want to have to show my son or my daughter the dope game. I don't want a minute. I don't want them to have to worry about getting shot and killed and not making it home at night, because obviously I know what that's like, having to look over your back and having to watch your ass not knowing who to trust and shit like that. Man,
listen to this, bro.
How heavy that game is.
Said I got a question. For you and Dog specifically. All right, now Dog already told me this, but
get me.
No, because I want you to listen to this, and then I want your opinion. I'm gonna ask Dog and Said this first. Dog has already told me this personally. Dog, you got kids that's like legal and stuff, like you over 21. Do you hang out with your kids?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. Said, would you ever see a situation where, like, you know how me and you used to hang out? Do you ever see yourself in a situation where you can be hanging with your son like that? Either one of them.
What did you define hanging? Now, I can take him out to dinner, go get something to eat, and have a drink with him.
I said how me and you used to hang out.
Oh no, man, hell no.
You talking about hanging out on some bullshit,
So would you throw your son a bachelor party like how we used to throw,
No.
Okay.
No, but I give him some money. I tell him, here, you and your boys, y'all go have a good time and do whatever y'all gonna do. But I ain't joining in. I ain't getting in on none of that.
But you know some of the situations we was in. Would you, as a father, would you be like, you know what? I've been through this. Let me go ahead and just set this up the right way for my son, so he don't.
Look, I'm gonna tell him. Look, I do everything, but I won't be there. Yeah, look, here goes bread. Go do this. This is the call. This such and such. This that. Man, I'm not. That's crazy. Or I stop by and drop some dick off or something like that. But I'm not going there throwing money and dancing. I don't know what. No, man.
All that shit that you think that you want to do with your son when he get old enough, when you a young dad, when your son actually get old enough, if you still want to do that shit with your son, you're a fucked up nigga, man.
Yeah, and if he even wants you around, that means you fail too.
Exactly.
That means he don't fear you at all. Hey, this shit. Hey, hold on.
He shouldn't have to fit me in no event like that, but man, no, I don't give it up like that. No, thank you. Y'all go ahead and have a good thing. I said I give him some bread, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, here go a couple $100 rack, whatever here. Y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all go ahead and have a good time.
Hey, go on out there and hang out. Hey, see, go on out there and hang out with him and give him some leverage to blackmail your ass. I'm gonna tell mama about that shit.
All right, last time around, man. Just one more time, just for the record. Dog, your last word. What you think on the question? Original question.
I mean, your question all over the place.
Yeah, I know. That's why I couldn't answer the last question.
Like I said from the jump, I'm not supporting or co-signing my kid doing anything foul. That's what they want to do. They're on their own.
Bro, after you heard what Said the Dog said, do you change your opinion or you still stay the same?
I wouldn't do none of it. I said you ain't in a moral position that if you in it.
Bro, the question is, what would you do? We ain't talking about what the world or what everybody else does.
He said goes.
No, he said, what would you do?
I beat my kid's ass. That's a whole nother story to me.
Sly, what do you think, Sly?
Ain't no way that's going to happen. I definitely understand your side, CB, but nah, it's not gonna happen.
No, I'm with y'all. I can't do that either, man. I'm not even y'all got teenagers. I'm not even looking forward to that teenage shit. Oh my God. Cause I see some shit right now. Like, well, it's too much. It's too long for this podcast. I'll tell y'all.
Hey, I'll put it like this to the young fathers and parents or whatever. A lot of parents feel like when their kids are young, you know, like they getting in a little bullshit and this and that. But see, at that age, you got control of them. For the most part, you have control of your kids when they're young, when you can snatch their ass up. But once you got to turn them loose in the world, when you lose all control, that's when the shit get real.
Yeah.
Gotta lay the foundation, man.
That's when you the most vulnerable, and you got to just sit back and hope that some of the shit you try to instill in them, you know, sinks in and they kind of use that. Because when they're young, you can just go snatch their ass up, you know what I'm saying, and do whatever you got to do, whatever your parent, you know, whatever your discipline is. But once they get to be adults, if they're on their own and you got to turn them loose in this world, that's when the shit get real.
All right. All right.
Jello Beats, holla at me.
News, rumors, gossip, and reality with Kat on Inside the Cave.
Doing it big right now.
All right, here we go. This is news, rumors, and gossip this week. A lot of news. Check this out. The Joshua Brown murder. 2 arrested in the death of witness in Amber Guyger trial. Jaquarius Mitchell, 20, Michael Mitchell, 32, and Thaddeus Green, 22, traveled from Alexandria, Louisiana to purchase drugs from Brown, police said. 2 people have been arrested in connection to the murder of Joshua Brown, a key witness in the murder trial of former Dallas police officer Amber Guyger. And the third suspect has been identified. All right, everybody on social media does not believe this story. And what do you all think about them finding or saying this was a drug deal going wrong on the key witness?
The same apartment complex, the same floor, and he just happened to be the witness of a murder. Nah, I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying. They wouldn't have had nobody on the stand that was credibility that was in question.
That's a good point, Sly. That is a good point. And now I'm about to sound like Ro, and I think Joe Dirt already said that I sound like Ro. But I think, honestly, the way people are outraged over this, they think they put 100,000 bounty on to find out who the killers were and to find out the story. Celebrities who pissed off about this, they should have added to that, made it 500 and say we want them to come to us first and get the real story before the people who have a lot to hide could put their spin on it. You don't believe it. Money talks. You can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. That 100,000, man. Say I got 500,000. I want to know. I got 500,000 cash. I want to know the real story. We're gonna record it. Here's 500,000 cash. Now, is that snitching? Is that considered snitching?
Nah, shit, nah, I ain't snitching.
Dog, is that considered snitching?
It's what snitching?
If a celebrity who's pissed off about this murder says he wants to find out the true story and he gonna match the 100,000 by saying he got 500,000 if he can find out the real story, is that snitching to get them people to do that?
Snitching on whose part?
They find out like the killer.
Oh, you saying it's the celebrity snitching or the motherfucker that tell to get the money?
The motherfucker who tell.
Oh, he definitely
that's
snitching.
snitching.
He got a financial gain. He's snitching like a motherfucker.
But what if the story is what the conspiracy is? Whereas
I'll put it like this:
the police.
It wouldn't be snitching if somebody saw something and they was trying to protect their hood and they speaking up.
Yeah.
But if you got some kind of financial gain or something to gain from talking, yeah, you snitching. Or if it's, I don't know. I mean, if unless they did some dirt and they trying to make light of themselves, you know what I'm saying? But I still kind of put that in the same boat, man. You know, you got something to gain out of it. Then you definitely a snitch. I mean, you know.
No. So what you're asking is, if you saying that somebody else in the shadowy group hired those guys to do it or to say they did it, which one?
To do it.
No, that's snitching because they committed the crime. If you committed a crime and you tell, that's snitching.
But what if it's because of the conspiracy that these
don't matter.
Paid me to do it. Send it. I got proof.
I'm sure they paid you not to talk either, right?
Yeah,
so
but they pay them 500,000. It's all dirty. That's what I'm trying to say. It's all dirty.
You snitched. You told. You committed a crime. It's snitching. Anytime you commit a crime,
right,
and you tell about the co-conspirators of your crime or crimes you know somewhere else.
But it was the white man. The white man told him to do it, paid him to do it.
Then they shouldn't have done it. Just snitching. Still snitching.
Even on the white man?
On the white man. You did a crime and you told some information, you snitched.
God damn.
Just listen.
Now, if you witnessed the shit and you ain't participated,
that's called witness.
Yeah.
Now,
if you did dirty, you telling to make your shit better. Yeah.
Right. And if you got caught up in the conspiracy and you didn't commit no crimes, that's called whistleblow.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, I don't know about all that, bro.
No, I'm dead serious. If you didn't commit no crimes, and like for instance, Snowden was a whistleblower. He told of a conspiracy that was going on. He wasn't a part of it, but he knew the information.
Ah, okay. That's what's going on with Trump right now.
Yeah, they whistleblowing. No. Your boy snitched. The dude before Epstein died, because he participated in crimes. He was he wasn't his lawyer, but what was he again? You know I'm talking about, CB. The first dude who was like, I feel terrible because I took money. He participated. He ain't whistleblow. He snitched.
All right. Here's another story. The CDC issues warning as syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia infections reach all-time high. The CBS News report, STD infections in the United States from 3 sexually transmitted diseases hit a record high in 2018 and threatening millions of Americans in the process. The STDs in questions are syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia, according to official findings from the CDC. All right, Sly, you don't
be careful out there, Sly. You don't want to put on the show.
Yes.
What's the ages?
Let's see.
Over 65?
No, it doesn't say the ages. But you know what? I heard this stuff before, because a lot of people, there's a shot for everything now. So a lot of people are not using condoms anymore. You know, because you can just go out. Remember the generation before us? My uncles never used rubbers. Never had to. They got VD, they just go get a shot. I think we are in that area. Now I know what Make America Great Again is. That's the era. We're back in that era now. Where motherfuckers just fucking and just go get a shot later on.
You go have to go out on this ledge by yourself.
I'm telling you, that's the era.
No, I heard it was because of sex rates going up of seniors.
Yeah, I've heard that before too. Because
of the Viagra. Now you got seniors having more sex and they not buying no condoms.
Right, but these young folks ain't buying condoms. The generation after us ain't buying, or the generation after me and Sid ain't buying condoms either, because.
Did you say me and Sid?
Yeah, we the young dogs on here.
I heard another reason why it was going up is because bisexual men don't use condoms either.
I think most men ain't using condoms. Most of these young men ain't using condoms no more. Think about it. If you growing up in the era where they telling you, we got a shot for this, we got a shot, you can take a pill for HIV now. Like who would ever thought that shit? These motherfuckers ain't using no rubbers like that. I wouldn't know what to do if I had to put a rubber on right now. It's been so long since I had a rubber on. But it's been so long since I had a rubber on. I wouldn't know what to do.
I ain't never seen a man just telling himself.
Yeah, remind me of that.
I'm just saying he do.
Hey, Sam, what's up with your boy? Man,
that's all he do.
Well, it ain't been that long.
I'm just saying though, man, I wouldn't know what to do. But
yeah, see, if you take me, you should have probably never had to wear one.
You're 100%.
He's been with his wife since 7.
Ever.
Oh,
I thought that story is interesting. All right, here's one more. Inmate who received support from Kim Kardashian West released from prison. Momolu Stewart was 16 when he was convicted and sentenced to life for murder. He was released Monday. A Washington, D.C. inmate who received the support of Kim Kardashian West was released from prison after being sentenced to life as a teenager for murdering a man. Momolu Stewart, 39, walked out of central detention facility on Monday after serving more than 23 years. All right. He will be on supervised probation for 5 years. The document states Stewart and his co-defendant Kareem McCraney were convicted and sentenced to life in prison for the 1997 shooting death of Mark Roseberg. And Kim K has got out. Now, I remember when we used to do a segment called This Time in 2038. Remember what happened to that guy, Veli Vell, we used to have on the show? We had somebody named Veli Vell. Anyway.
Yeah, he used to be a great addition to the show.
Yeah, he was a pretty good guy. He quit. Like, you know, he's a quitter. Like somebody else we used to have on the show. He used to be a quitter too. But that guy is not a quitter anymore. That guy shows up. But anyway, I remember him saying that Kim Kardashian, maybe that was you, Ro, said Kim Kardashian will be president of the United States in 2038.
Oh, Veli said that.
Well, I tell you what, the way things are going, that might be. She might have a lot.
Hey man, Kim K, all right with me, man. I ain't got no problem with it.
She might have a lot of political gain later on in life, man. I'm telling you, she might really be able to run for president. As crazy as that sounds, she could literally be president of the United States in like the next 12 years. I thought that was an interesting story.
Yeah. All right, next, motherfucker.
Last story. Snoop Dogg reacts to Kansas concert backlash. He says when you pay for Snoop Dogg, you're going to get Snoop Dogg. Rapper Snoop Dogg is reacting to the backlash over his performance last at the KU Friday that included pole dancers, money guns, and profanity. This prompted an apology from the KU athletic director, Jeff Long. We made it clear to the entertainers, managers that we expect a clean version of the show and took additional steps to communicate to our fans, including moving the artist to the final act of the evening to ensure that no basketball activities will be missed if anyone did not want to stay for this show. Now, Snoop Dogg is speaking out about the incident, tells Howard Stern, the audience enjoyed that shit. I don't know what the fuck they talking about.
hey, real talk, bro. Like, if a nigga was offended, they would have left, right?
Yeah, that motherfucker was jam-packed.
We want the seat in the house, huh?
So let me get this right.
Hey, check this out. Half of the women take pole dancing anyway for exercise.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
So what's the big deal now?
Hey, and then the other thing is too. Here's a conspiracy. KU said you the college guy. KU is in some trouble, ain't they?
Yeah, they already in hot water.
They in some hot water. So this is a distraction. They knew what they was getting into from the beginning. So they brought Snoop there so they can stop talking about the white man and all the corruption they've been doing, so they can focus on Snoop Dogg. I just heard that shit on the herd today that KU is in some trouble.
Hey, check this out, man. I'm out here in KC, right?
Yeah, great time.
And I went to go see Snoop when he came out here.
Yeah,
70% of the crowd was white.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Snoop is a legend, man.
And they singing the lyrics. I got a little pissed. I was like, goddamn, man, use that shit right there, bro.
Man, they gonna say every single lyric. But that's the crazy part. I'm looking at that college game, man. Them kids was born what, in 2002? 2001? They know G-Thing. They know Biggie, can't you see? They knew Tupac lyrics. They knew Eazy-E lyrics, man.
Can we easily say that if we don't believe in Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, how are we believing Snoop Dogg to be where he is?
What you trying to say, Dero?
So as a black activist, anyone in the 70s ain't feeling Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton. They saying they sellouts because they don't represent the people and they still in these positions of power. So if you a true hip hop head from back in the day, how in the hell is Snoop still existing? How is he on a show with Martha Stewart? How is he smoking more weed than law allow? He actually was on trial for murder. He was on trial for murder. How is this dude getting invited anywhere?
Hey man,
let alone on a college campus.
Hey
man, you a cop?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. This nigga,
if you gonna get me to say anything negative about Snoop Dogg, you crazy. Snoop is a legend, man.
Snoop is the Jesse Jackson of rap.
No, I don't know. I saw him. I saw Angie Martinez.
Jesse Jackson of rap.
I saw the Angie Martinez new show with Snoop. Man, so dope, man. Snoop got stories, man. Snoop is a living, walking legend, man.
Did you hear that story he told about Jay-Z and Nipsey Hussle?
Nah, I didn't hear that one. Damn, I gotta listen to that one.
Snoop's a liar.
Stop it, man.
He told 5 different stories about Tupac. He been busted already. Snoop is a clown.
Man, you ain't never finna hear me say nothing but negative about Snoop.
The views of Roland are not that of Inside the Cave podcast.
Oh,
here's alone.
Yeah.
One thing about my man Gotti, he took me in 2004 to the Players Club in Chicago. Don Juan and Snoop was there, boy. I didn't get a chance to really meet Snoop, but Snoop was a living legend, boy, blowing that shit in the club on Madison. Stop it, man. I got number of love with Snoop, man. Shit.
Well, I know, don't stand too close to him. He might pick you up on that recorder he got taped to his thigh.
Hey, shit, man.
That's all I'm saying.
Who man's
saying? Do I need to put the evidence on Igley Clee's report? Do I need to put it out?
Oh, man. I ain't gonna never say nothing.
I don't even do entertainment no more, but do I gotta put it out there?
Big Dog's old school mini mix. Throwing it back on Inside the Cave.
Y'all already know what it is. Got a problem? Need some advice? Send your questions and problems to Cat for Cat's Corner on Inside the Cave.
All right, here we go. This is by the way, shout out to Ro on that good interview. Who did we just interview, Ro? Who was that? Greg and Natalie. Shout out to Ro. Good Cop, Bad Cop app. Where can I get the app again, Ro?
Hey man, you can go on their website at Good Cop, Bad Cop.
They ain't in the App Store?
Yeah, but you can go to their website and they'll take you right there. If you do go on iOS, that means Apple, you gotta type in Good space Cop space Bad space Cop space. You can't put it all as one word. You type it in like that, it'll come right up. Same thing with Android. It's a great app too. I tried it. It's a very good platform. I hope it really takes off.
And we support you. Greg and Nally, we support you. All right, this is Cap's Corner. I was going to let Cap answer the ones from last week, but she ain't here, so let's see if we can answer this one. Sax Player 12 is off of RadioPublic.com. I'm in love with a woman that's in her late 60s. I'm 32 and was in a serious life-altering car accident 2 years ago. This woman helped me rehab and regain my strength. Over the course of my rehab, I fell in love and even extended my rehab longer just to keep seeing her. I haven't seen her in over 3 months. I'm to see her again and possibly see if she has feelings for me, or was it just work? Is there any possibility a woman this much older than me would be interested? How should I approach this? Because I want to play my cards right.
Man, this
nigga's a clown. This nigga's a clown.
Damn. I'm in love with a woman late 60, 32? Yeah.
Hey, you could just take all
this
that
nigga
out.
This nigga
lost his life, so the woman that helped his ass rehab.
This nigga is not a heartthrob. He is not a heartthrob. I guarantee you.
Nigga delusional, goddamn.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Nigga had a life-altering situation and the woman helped him back. That's her fucking job, nigga.
Really tripping.
This
He want a mama.
marry a motherfucker who goddamn want to be with a motherfucker.
Hey, he ain't even hit, goddamn. He talking about he ain't even seen her, goddamn. Soon your rehab ended.
Well, can I say something?
Go ahead.
All right. So, brother, I think that you should take 3 cold showers and get you that overage Pornhub. Save it to your browser and go on and handle that.
Like you speaking from experience, bro.
I'm sure she, if you approached her, she would entertain it because I'm sure she would be super flattered. And I believe that she lusted for you as well. The problem is that in a month and a half, you're gonna realize you begging some old woman and the attraction is gonna wear off because now you're healthy and able to move and do what you do. It's easy for you to fall in love with the person who brought you back, nursed you back to health. It's very common. So just take a chill pill, brother, and get over it. Because you're not really in love with this woman. You're just happy that she nursed you back to health.
Yeah.
Bro, you being too motherfucking nice.
Retirement Pornhub.
Hey.
Type in retirement in the search bar on Pornhub.
Hey, we just talked about Snoop last segment. Once you wrinkle pussy, I can't be your lover.
Yo.
Another
hey, CB.
That's a good one, CB.
Hey,
I'm gonna
CB.
smoke a joint to that one there. That's a good one, dog.
Another problem that I got with Snoop.
What Dave said about that old pussy?
Yeah, what's the Dave said about 35-year-old?
Well, CB, let me help you with something. First of all, that's not Snoop's song. That's a song he stole from Slick Rick.
Oh,
He
okay.
rapped the whole
shit.
song.
We know, nigga. But Snoop thing, we were just talking about. Look at him. Man, you a hate man. He's so slick.
Bro, the goddamn fun police, goddamn.
Eastern Standard Time ass niggas.
Hey, dog, what you say? You the fun police?
Motherfucking fun police, goddamn.
Oh, shit. He said the fun police.
Motherfucker mad because it get dark at 6 o'clock where he live at.
Oh,
That's why he fucking grouchy.
That's why he grouchy.
Hey, that nigga don't even show up when the time change, goddamn.
Right.
God damn, bro. Yeah, this nigga's a clown.
There's a difference between having love for a motherfucker that looked out for you than your ass actually being there, bro.
Yeah. Go take us some roses and say thanks for everything and go about your fucking business.
But maybe he really like her, though.
This nigga sound crazy, man. Go ahead.
Man.
Hey, if you wanted your motherfucking ass, she'd have been still around.
I want to play my cards.
If she ain't reached out to you, evidently she don't have no interest.
Hey, shit. She would have dropped you a line before you left, nigga. Shit.
I want to play my cards right. The only cards he gonna be playing is Social Security cards, AARP cards, bingo
Nigga
cards.
talking about he want to
Like,
play his cards right.
Play his cards right, man. If you don't
Nigga playing Uno cards, man. Shut your silly ass down.
Go sit down in your cubicle and do some work.
So he says, how should I approach this? Because I want to play. So what's your answer?
Nigga,
I think
don't
he
approach
got the
it,
answer.
goddammit.
Whole
Nigga gonna say, so what's y'all answer?
You will never be lonely with farmersonly.com.
Hey, you an ignorant motherfucker. Wait. What's up, man?
Oh man, y'all. All right, Sax
Go down there
player.
and get a mouthful of gray hairs.
Get some pricklies on this shit. Hey, Ro.
Yeah.
They gonna go in the club and he gonna order him a Hennessy and a 7 and 7. And a 7 and 7 for the missus.
7 to 7. That bitch gonna drink some Geritol.
Yeah, they're gonna drink some moonshine.
I ain't got no say.
Nigga gonna try to bring it back to the crib, but she smelling like witch hazel.
Hey, the mothballs.
Hell yeah. Got a drawer full of mothballs, nigga. Get out of here.
I like strolls to the Social Security Administration office.
Yeah.
But wait a minute though, she gotta be pretty bad though. She was giving her rehab though in her late 60s, because I done had rehab.
Hey man, this nigga almost lost his life, goddamn. He delusional, bro.
Wait a minute, what type of person does rehab in their late 60s though, man? Because my rehab person was in their 20s.
What's your
Hey, put it
question?
like this: if your ass in the nursing home getting rehab or whatever, and ain't nobody else coming to see you, it's the only
Nigga wasn't in
motherfucker
the
you
nursing
see.
home, man.
Yeah, that's what they rehab your ass at.
That's
Rehab
what
something. Or whatever.
He said, like 32 years old in nursing home, man.
You know, they put niggas like this in the rehab center, man.
They do.
Do the woman work there? Do she work there or was she just help?
Nah, she worked there, man. She doing her job.
Oh man, yeah, make it
This
nigga out of
nigga
here,
stayed in
man.
his state, goddamn, so he can get a little more rehab. Must been getting a rub and tug or something that motherfucker was.
The rub and tug.
You trying to get him a sponge bath with no sponge?
They with no sponge.
Oh man.
Motherfucking crazy. He gonna change his whole lick once he take her teeth out of her mouth and brush. That shit over.
You see them California razors hanging.
Oh shit.
Oh
Some old
man.
sun-dried ass titties, man. This nigga gonna be like, I'm good.
Sun dry. Hey man, hold on. How old is Angela Bassett? Oh, I'm finna
Hey
look.
man, she don't count.
She don't count.
60
She off
something.
limits. Don't you
That's
say
what I
nothing
thought.
about her neither.
Yeah, she's 60 something.
Okay then. So
Now,
She
let me
ain't
tell you.
doing no rehab,
All right, well, then, if
goddamn,
that's
man.
she's
no
61.
rehab
She's 61.
hey, if
No
this
rehab
woman is
facility.
60-something years old working in the rehab facility and she look like Angela Bassett, she's selling pussy.
That's usually my line.
That's what, oh yeah.
That's usually my line.
Go on there with the $40, man. Go give her that 40 piece and get yourself straight and go ahead, man.
Oh damn.
You ain't got
Oh
no
shit.
Yeah, he don't. She look like
Nothing.
Angela Bassett. Selling pussy.
Zero
How
zip.
the hell we get there? That's good.
That's how the hell we get there.
Hey, I heard Lynn Whitfield, an old motherfucker too, though. I didn't know she was that old.
Man, Whitfield up there.
She was old in the first movie I ever saw. Shit, whatever
What
that
movie?
was.
What movie was that?
Was it Chocolate City? Was that one? With
The
Marlon?
She carry an old face though.
Yeah, she do got an old face. She wasn't that old in that.
She
She got
can't.
a church lady face.
Yeah, she can't never be a good person.
66. So in the 90s, 97, how old was she in 97?
I think I was 10 in the 90s.
She was up, what's that, 44, 42?
Who you talking about, CB?
Lynn Whitfield, when she played Martin. She's 66 now. She a bad motherfucker though.
When she walk, you hear her pantyhose.
Well, once again, I don't think we did too much helping for this guy, so maybe tune in next week. I can help you.
He sound like a pretty
After
good
he
guy.
hit next week, so that nigga ain't never tuning back in.
He sound like a pretty good guy. Keep listening to Inside the Cave, though, man.
That nigga gonna hear that shit and go unsubscribe.
And write
That
in.
nigga gonna be so bad.
Make sure you tell all your friends. Write in. Make sure you tell our friends to like and subscribe and rate us.
What about Oprah? Oprah, how old is Oprah?
Man,
Don't matter.
Rich.
Don't matter.
Oprah 65.
Too old.
What about Whoopi Goldberg? Come on, Whoopi
Oh
Goldberg.
Lord. Hey man, did you see is y'all down with this dude named Ace Van?
Nah, I ain't heard of him.
Oh man, he do these voiceovers. Funny man. He had a funny joke about Whoopi Goldberg. It was funny as hell. I'll send it over.
Whoopi Goldberg 63. Y'all wouldn't give Whoopi Goldberg no dick.
Nigga, I wouldn't drive Uber for Whoopi
Guess
Goldberg.
what? She wouldn't take it.
What?
Hey, CB, she wouldn't take it. You hear what I'm saying?
What'd you say, bro?
She wouldn't take it.
Oh, he's right. I know what you about to say. She go the other way, huh?
She don't deal with those brothers.
The best hip hop throwbacks and R&B inside the cave on Indie Central Radio.
Had a long week? Need to get some stuff off your chest? Do it now! Let's go 0 to 100 real quick.
Real quick. Real fucking quick, nigga. 0 to 100, nigga. Real quick.
All right, this is Around the Cave. What you got this week, Sly?
My Around the Cave is about me, myself, and I. Chicago Marathon this weekend, fellas. All y'all listeners. About 20,000 plus runners hit the downtown streets of Chicago. And that's my Around the Cave, man. That's my Around the Cave, man. Wish me good
Is
luck.
this weekend, Sly?
Yeah, it's Sunday. It's Sunday, man. I start running at about 8 a.m. Chicago time, Central Standard Time.
Damn.
So something like that, man.
Sly run.
Yeah, man. So I'm expecting messages from everybody.
Run, Forrest.
You can track me on the Bank of America Chicago Marathon app.
Now, is Kendra G running with you this year?
I don't think Kendra G is not running this year. I think she was a one and done.
What about Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart, Kevin Hart just had an accident.
So he won't be there. Okay.
He won't be there. But I know he had admirations of
Is he still recovering?
Yeah, he's still recovering. But
how's he
wanted
doing?
to do.
Is he all right?
Nigga, you don't know him.
I'm about to say, what is he, the Kevin Hart insider?
Well, I read the reports that say he's still.
How y'all know?
He's not walking the same. Like he's not walking the same.
Hey, roll past that shit, man.
High times. Pass that shit, bro. Pass that shit to the left, bro. Take 2 pulls of pass, bro.
Oh,
talking about the dog like that.
What you got this week, big dog? Hey, but hold on, Slide. You can't believe it. Last year this time we had Trina McGee wishing you a good race.
Yes, absolutely. I think that was great. I like that sound.
That's crazy. That year that went by fast.
That drop. Cherry Johnson should do it this year. I think so.
Cherry Johnson, yeah.
I think Cherry Johnson. Thank you.
I'll see if I can talk to somebody that knows it. Hey, what you got this week, big dog?
I'm good, bro.
Sid.
Yo.
What you got this week?
My Around the Cave. So I think everybody been seeing the circulation of the Tyler Perry videos for the studio and everything, the property you got down there in Atlanta, studio sound stages and everything, where he's shooting everything at, TV shows and movies. Let me ask you this. Bro, especially you, king of conspiracies.
Right.
Who did he have to sacrifice to get this lot?
His booty hole.
And
no, I shouldn't say that.
Do you think there's going to be some pushback from the powers that be for a black man to have his own studio and studio lot like that?
I don't agree with that. First, it's not always about a sacrifice. You can go through one of the rituals, sexual rituals behind closed doors. You can do humiliation ritual.
So he gave up his ass.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying those are the different things that you can do in order to be elevated in Hollywood. I don't think there's going to be any backlash because there's only one. I think the problem is us because they elevated Jay-Z the same way. Nobody will ever get to that level as Jay-Z has without help from the powers that be. You take for what we do on any level. Just think about it. As you climb up the ladder, you can only get so far until you got to have a white person put their hand in it. So he got on somebody's good side. I'm a little bit past conspiracies that I can't see with my eyes. I don't know what that man did.
But the only thing I have with that is that's kind of unfair to say the only way a black person can get ahead is if he sell his soul, sell his ass, or or sell out in general. I mean, for what it's worth.
That's not but that's not what I said.
Okay, but it's
for any black entertainer.
But look, for what it's worth,
you got the richest black American is Robert Smith. He's worth $5 billion, right? He made his money on Wall Street. He didn't have to sell nothing. He played their game and he won. But every other billionaire that's black in the top 10, black billionaires, and I'm not talking about dudes from Nigeria or Angola or anything like that. I'm talking American. Everybody else is in entertainment. That goes for Oprah.
But Tyler Perry put in work. I wasn't a fan of his movies, but that motherfucker, he is what Master P wanted to be. You know what I mean? Because he sold his shit out the trunk. Remember everybody had Madea videos in the hood and shit like that. I mean, he started from the bottom and now he's here.
But ask yourself this question: if you go to the bank right now and you got $100,000 and you want to buy a $1 million property, you will have a hard time securing the money with $100,000 deposit from a bank because they're gonna say, "Nigga, where you get that from?" They gonna question you. You think they would allow Tyler Perry to secure this property if they felt as though he was gonna empower black people? That's why I ain't even mad at entertainers no more. Every time I think about that, what I used to say, I hear Big Dog in the back of my head saying, "You begging now? What you begging?"
But he does employ black people. I don't.
As workers, everybody got a job for somebody, bro.
But
I'm talking about empowerment.
What was he supposed to do? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He ain't supposed to say nothing because if he tried to do it, he'd be dead or broke. That's what I'm saying. You can't do anything that empowers. Why do you think rich people like Oprah do things overseas? She built a school over in Africa. Why do you think she did that? Why wouldn't she do that right in Chicago? Because she knew she wouldn't be able to do it.
With the Tyler Perry has always said that if he couldn't buy it, he rented, he rented to own, or he would rent it and save up his money until he could either buy his own or build his own. The land, the acreage that he has in Atlanta is 3,000 acres or something like that. Or
when you understand selling and buying, you'll understand this a little bit better, bro. Money don't buy everything, number one. And number two, you can only buy something that somebody's willing to sell to you. So I don't care how much money he saved up, and I don't care how big the offer is. Somebody white had to sell it to him. So they allowed him to have it. So what I'm saying is if they knew that he had any plans to do any empowering on that property, trust and believe he wouldn't have it. Y'all can call Umar Johnson a fraud all y'all want. Somebody gave that man some money and he tried to buy property and they wouldn't let him.
The history of the history of the land that Tyler Perry currently owns, that his studio is on, was once a plantation and a military base, correct?
Right here, yes.
So I'm with you. If he bought it from the government or he bought it from the Georgia government, fine. But if he plans on using that and building up the community and empowering the community around it, let him be. Like he's doing it. He's building his own table, like he said. He's like, I'm not trying to get anybody else's table.
Building what table though? Just okay, let me ask you this, Sly. So I'll shut my mouth and I'll do the wait and see. Just like they saying wait and see with Jay-Z. Tyler Perry ain't empowering shit. He giving some people some jobs and that's great. He ain't empowering nobody, bruh. Because if he was, and I'm not knocking him, he's making a great life for himself. He's putting money in the pockets of many of those people in that community. That's awesome. And I'm not knocking him for that. I'm just letting y'all know that nothing real is tangible is gonna come out of this purchase other than a black man bought some property. What the fucking do? What is it really doing? What is it really doing to empower people across the nation? Nothing. It's just he bought a property. He got a business.
What the fuck is that? Dog done fell asleep on your ass, bro. Talking too much. Dog fell asleep on his ass. I can hear that nigga in his sleep saying, I ain't fucking with that shit, bro.
Can we mute that, please? He's snoring.
Yeah, that nigga really fell asleep on your ass.
Somebody hit that shot collar on him.
Oh shit, that's fucked up. Yeah, that's fucked up, dog.
No, listen, y'all be taking this the wrong way, man. I'm not trying to hate on nobody. I'm saying good for him. That's what's up. Good for Jay-Z for making a power move and making a deal with the NFL. I love it. All I'm saying is we need to stop trying to turn this stuff into some type of black empowerment. It's not. He bought a business. He made a business deal.
You don't think that inspires people, young youth or men and women that's around it?
We don't need no fucking inspirement. We need tangible shit that works. We need an infrastructure. We don't need nothing. We don't need inspiration.
We need a grocery store.
Oh.
Roll on goddamn hate patrol.
In private? In private.
Sid, did you get your answer?
Ro need a shot collar.
Sid, did you get your answer?
Yeah, thanks, guys.
The longest around the cave ever.
Oh, man. All right, bro, what you got this week?
All right, so
that should have counted as his too. Shit.
Well, you
asked
asked
me what you got this week. He just had it all.
Well, you asked the question, and this Sly asked me 3 questions.
Oh man.
All right, so what's my man's name? Joshua Brown, man. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this situation, man. I'm gonna just give y'all the short, non-conspiracy version. Let's say Amber Geiger accidentally walked into this man's house, legitimately accidentally killed this guy. His family, deep Christian roots, they really forgive this guy. And the judge was just being her judgy self, and because a lot of things that people didn't see, she also did hug the victim's family as well. So let's not, say stuff that didn't really happen. She hugged that family and she consoled Amber Geiger. I feel both are equally wrong because she's the judge. She's supposed to be impartial. But let's say there's no secret act of trying to get Amber off or anything like that. Let's call everything 100% legal and legit. Okay. Now let's get to Joshua. So you trying to tell me that a man who had beef with cats in Dallas, afraid of that beef, flies to California, is threatened by the DA that he better come back and testify. So he comes back, no suit, no nothing, in his straight street clothes, gets off the plane, jumps on the stand, and gives this riveting testimony. They're heralding him as an upstanding citizen of the community of this building. This ain't Section 8 housing. This ain't the ghetto. This ain't the projects. This is an upscale condominium unit that he lived in. Well-to-do people living in it, right? So you trying to tell me as he gets off the stand, he goes into a city where he already beefing with dudes and decides to sell weight, not just a couple nickel bags. He says, I gotta make this deal so I can get back to California. And these dudes travel 4.5 hours from another state to make this deal, and it goes wrong and they kill him. That's what y'all telling me.
That's what they say, bro.
That's what they say.
That's what they say, bro.
Like I said, no conspiracy. I'm just saying, I was born in the daytime, but it wasn't yesterday. That's
pretty good. Hey, I want to give a kill yourself and start over to all these new school barbers. The new thing is now to coil the kids' hair after you get done cutting them. But what has happened is these barbers have gotten lazy. So now because they got this coil brush, they don't feel they have to even trim the top at all or shape the top or anything like that. So
they got a who brush?
What? The coil brush. Said they be coiling the hair. Like they give it the,
it's like a sponge. They call it
the sponge.
Oh, okay. So what the fuck?
Man, these new school barbers, man, because they know you want your kids' head sponged at the end or coiled as they call it, they don't take the time to pick the hair out, shape it, make sure the hair is shaped in the box haircut or flat top or whatever like that. They don't even do nothing. They just give it a nice fade on the side and line it up. And then they just sponge it.
Yeah, they sponge it.
They just sponge it. Sponge the fuck out of it. So all you new school barbers, man, and I said you don't know nothing about that because you go to a good barber. You know what I'm saying? White don't do shit like that because I went to white good. He's just in the hood. I just can't fuck with that part no more. But these new barbers, man, coming out 22, 23 years old, man, they cheat and then they charge them full price. But you ain't did the top, man. Pause. You ain't did the top.
These niggas got tricks now, man. All they do is taper the side and put dye around your edges, make the line.
Oh yeah, they do all that bullshit, but you can't trim the top. Hey man, give it a nice flat top like it's supposed to be, and then let me decide if I want to sponge it. Don't just you got the cheat code. You know what I'm saying? You cheating, and you charge a full price, and you ain't doing a full haircut. You know what I'm saying? Just charge me for a lining, basically, because I can sponge the shit at the crib. I got a sponge, motherfucker. But yeah, so I'm gonna give all them new barbers kill yourself and start over.
Hey ladies, it's time for To Tell the Truth. Ladies, let's talk about it with Sly on Inside the Cave.
Inside the Cave podcast. This is Tell the Truth. Ladies, tell the truth. I actually had two questions. One for the ladies, one for the fellas. Feel free to jump in.
That's the one for the fellas first.
The one for the fellas. Fellas, would you have an issue if your lady is friends with a guy who either looks better than you or is doing better than you financially?
Man, what man is gonna even admit some shit like that? I mean, seriously. What man is gonna say, yeah, that nigga look better than me?
Well, you probably won't be saying it, but do you have an issue with it?
Man, I don't know no man that think like that.
There's plenty of them that think like that.
That nigga been ignoring you for 4 weeks.
Hey, chill out.
He said you stupid,
No,
man.
you a pain in the ass when a nigga ain't talked to you in 4 weeks.
He said you stupid, man.
Jesus Christ. A fucking month. And you over the fucking shit. You know you on some bullshit, bro. How you don't talk to a nigga you cool with for 4 weeks? But he said he texted you.
Hey, second question.
This thing got me fucked up on this. I've been doing this nigga for 4 weeks.
Hey, dog, your phone be going.
Giving up.
Dog, your phone be going off like you just turned your shit off of airplane mode and landed.
Oh my god.
Dang.
Oh my god.
You got me crying over here, man.
Me too.
Just keep
Hey,
on
can you
blinging.
imagine turning your phone off? Next thing you know, you turn your shit back on. He got 4 more texts. Oh my god.
Why the fuck is Courtney texting you so damn much? Who is Courtney?
Man, I give anything to see dog face when you text him.
Hey, saying, look,
In the morning.
that nigga be like, shit, dog, you a better man than me. Think I'm gonna still respond. I'm trying to mess it up in the end and shit.
Holy shit. Oh man, I'm really over here crying.
Man, he got me crying.
No.
Oh man.
Oh,
my
shit.
god. Dog, I'd have known this nigga since '94. And you don't want to fuck with him for 4 weeks.
Hey, said need therapy for 94. You need therapy too, said. Shit.
Oh, man. Hey, said I told that nigga, you were my little bro, nigga. I wouldn't talk to you at all, guys. Hey, that nigga texted me back one time. I was like, oh shit, this conversation ain't got real. He said, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. I was like, damn. Oh shit, I'm bad, Sly. We ain't got nothing else, Sly.
No, that's a showstopper right there.
Yeah, I don't think we can go. I don't think we can move on from this.
To tell the truth, my CB keeps steady texting dog.
Yeah, when we advertise this one is gonna be advertised. Big Dog goes for CB's throat.
No, I can't even air this shit, man. I can't. He told me I can't put this out.
God damn.
Oh shit.
We done wasted a whole fucking hour. That's some bullshit. Hey man, I'm locking off, man.
Hey, what he say? He said, what he say? That's what you gonna do, CB? That's what you on? Now ain't the time. Now ain't the time
for that bullshit, man.
Ain't the time. You said you wanted to be in, right?
Damn, boy. All right, Big Dog. Everybody listening, thank y'all for listening, man. I don't know how this shit gonna turn out. We out here.
I know how it's gonna turn out. We done recorded for 2 fucking hours. It's gonna be a 45-minute show.
Yeah, I don't think Nas got that much in his mix. You gonna have to put some
Snoop Dogg in that G. You gonna have to put some D-Double-G back in that, Big Dog.
That nigga CB finna make an hour and a half Nas mix.
All right, Big Dog, go ahead and get us out of here.
Regular radio.
Hey, man, on behalf of the niggas I fuck with and the ones I don't. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Inside the Cave.
You did say you wanted to be in.
Inside the Cave. 3 Lee Films.
You did say you wanted to be in, right?